Hey guys, ShadowRock here with a massive mega news roundup. We have a lot to cover today, so let's get started with an update from Rockman.EXE DiVE. A couple of the characters and skins that are coming to the game by way of the Summer Carnival update have been teased via a new teaser trailer, which begins with Watermelon Chill Penguin waddling on screen, but wait, his dot senses are tingling. As we get a close up to his pineapple shades, we do get a tease of the two ladies he's looking at. On the left, it's Alia, sporting the same summer outfit that was seen in the normal mode ending for Mega Man X Legacy Collection's X Challenge mode. That's right folks, we've been talking about this for a couple of years, and this image is finally becoming a reality thanks to X DiVE. Ooh boy, we've come full circle. On the right, we got our Lolly, Roll from the Mega Man Classic series, this time in a one-piece bathing suit, holding a water tube around her. I know what you guys are thinking, and I know Rockman.EXE DiVE has been pretty fan-servicey about its characters, but I will say, I've seen the full artwork for Roll, and there's nothing bad about it. It's pretty innocent actually. Now, it will come down to the intro animation for her, but from what I've seen, it's fine. Of course, that's not gonna stop some specific people in the X DiVE chats, but there you go. For Alia though, yeah, all bets are off of her. We will of course be getting more information on these characters and what else the Summer Carnival will offer as we approach this Thursday. That is all we know for now though. But wait, hold your pants everyone, the summer amusement park is here. For anyone who played the beta test for Rockman.EXE DiVE last year, you may remember the amusement park stage for Mega Man ZX1, which was exclusive to the 3-on-3 PvP mode. We have not seen the return of the 3v3 PvP mode or the amusement park since, as it was effectively removed from the final game. But finally, with this new event stage, they're bringing back the amusement park and they have redeemed it to transform it into a summer amusement park. Guys, I know I've been down on this game recently, but it's also equally important to point out when they do something good, and this is a good. I really do mean it when I say the X DiVE developers have really outdone themselves with this one. This may be the best event stage they've had yet. I mean, you can tell they're using the amusement park assets, but they've added so much and changed so much about it that it really does feel like a true water park. You got water slides, these towers that you would normally see at water parks, with buckets that drop water on you, and they're themed like Chill Penguin as well. That's a really nice touch. You got reskinned enemies too, like Watermelon Metars, summer themed Mega Mantors, and even Chill Penguin himself is a watermelon as we've seen before. And I really love the background details too, like the ice cream shop, and the building with the surfboards nearby. There's even a castle with a waterfall out front, way in the background. Man, I just really can't wait to play this. They really knocked it out of the park with this one. Pun totally intended. Seriously, good job X DiVE team. Let's see more of this for future events. Alright, hold up though, we gotta talk about the characters too. With this trailer, we get to see the full artwork for Swimsuit Alia, and she's gonna be a skin with this event. Oh thank god, she was the only one I cared about. And it is confirmed you'll be able to unlock the skin simply by playing this event stage, which means she's gonna be free. Awesome. What's not gonna be free, however, is, well, all the rest of the stuff. Yes, we got S-Rank icons for 3 things, which are gonna be the bonus points for this event stage. There's the one-piece swimsuit roll that we talked about earlier, and 2 new things. A new Aqua Buster, and swimsuit layer. Uh-oh, Teach B's in trouble. I will say, I've seen the full swimsuit layer art as well. Oh boy, they really went all out with her, I'll say that much. Oh boy. Unlike Alia, she's not based off of the X Challenge design. It's actually way worse than we thought, and I think I have to leave it at that. You'll see for yourself soon enough. But yeah, this summer carnival is becoming a lot better now. Can't wait to experience it this week, and it is going to be happening on August 6th, this Thursday. Stay tuned for a stream about it. Okay, back to the episode. If this banner is a lot like White Day, expect these characters to be limited. With that in mind, are you guys going to pull for these characters? Personally, I don't think I'm going to worry too much about it. White Day Alien Cinnamon ended up not being that great, and I'm pretty happy with the DiVE Festival Limiteds already, so unless these are skins that we can get during an event, or they are separate characters that turn out to be pretty decent gameplay wise, I'm not going to worry about getting them. I'd rather save for something else. Speaking of gacha bait though, reminder that the Savage Tusk of Thunder banner is currently live, where you can get a guaranteed S-rank weapon on your first, third, and fifth 10 pulls. The Savage Tusk of Thunder is a machine gun that is based off of Shadow's gun from Mega Man X Command Mission. Always love to see more Command Mission representation, but it is a shame that Shadow won't be playable just yet. Maybe one day, but not right now, as the silhouette holding the gun that they had in previous teaser images ended up just being Command Mission concept artwork, not a new image. Now let's log out of the deep log and see what else Capcom and its partners are up to. Like the Mega Man live action movie, remember that one? We've known it's been in the works for a while now, and despite Disney buying out Fox recently, Capcom and Chrono Entertainment are going ahead of the movie. The directors are Henry Yost and Rael Schulman, produced by Masaoka, and the scriptwriter Mattson Tomlin, who is also co-writing the upcoming Batman movie for 2021, has been making some tweets about the Mega Man movie as well. Which brings us to the present. IGN recently had a video interview with the guys behind the Mega Man movie. In the interview, Henry Yost expressed that he's really stoked for the movie, and he thinks that they're gonna have some big news about it soon, so maybe we'll get to see a trailer, a release date, or some kind of other big news fairly soon. The other director, Rael Schulman, was asked what Mega Man means to him, and this is what he said.
I like that he's an underdog hero, and both of us are deeply fascinated with robotics and the future of automation, for better and for worse. And I think trying to combine that into one of our favorite, historical video games is like the ultimate challenge.
He also mentioned how Mega Man was his first NES game, so it does seem like this team does have some familiarity with the Mega Man brand. But based on these comments, how do you feel about this movie? Do you think the Mega Man movie is in good hands? Only time will tell, but definitely tell us what you think in the comments below. Personally, I'm interested in that comment about how they're deeply fascinated with robotics. I wonder if that will lead to an even bigger focus on the robotics and technical side of things, on a level further than what the games themselves show. And of course, I can expect there to be a discussion on the morality of how to treat robots going forward into the future, much like the game series and comics and everything else has explored already. Speaking of morality and comics, we do have an update on Boom Studios' Mega Man Fully Charged comic series. Here's a variant cover for issue number 1, which was illustrated by John Jeong, who is known for his work on some Michael Bay films like Transformers, Pacific Rim, and the Marvel Cinematic Universe movies like The Avengers. We also got our first look at the cover art for issue number 3. It features Nemajim, spell that backwards, who is basically the Proto Man comparison in the Fully Charged show. He was Mega Man's twin brother. And behind Nemajim, looming in the distance, is a robot that looks a lot like Skullman, who is a robot master that did not appear in the Fully Charged cartoon. Otherwise, there's no more details on issue number 3, how Nemajim and Skullman will play a role in the story, or any of that right now. But stay tuned if you're interested. And hey, while we're on the topic of books, let's talk about some new Mega Man books coming from Udon. They had a 20th anniversary Comic-Con stream recently, and Matt has got some secret info for us. Specifically for our purposes, he says we're working on a few books for Mega Man, Then he throws up the Mega Man Legends 2 key art as he says, "I chose this Mega Man image on purpose, so think about that." So perhaps we are just about due for the long-awaited Mega Man Legends Complete Works art book. Now all they need to do is a ZX art book. And that's not all that's coming from Udon. Like he said, there is a few books for Mega Man coming, and he's not wrong. Personally, I know of at least one other project that's currently in development, Mega Man book-wise. So yeah, keep an eye out for more announcements as they come. Continuing with video game news, we got a lot of screenshots for the Rockman VR game that was announced a while ago. It is now playable at the Ikebukuro Plaza Capcom store, and we do have a lot of impressions from different Japanese press outlets like 4Gamer and Gamer. Rockman Corner has a great write-up compiling all the info in English, so I recommend checking out their article about it. I'll go ahead and give you a summarization though. We got some images of the exterior of the booth, which also features a photo opportunity with the cast of Mega Man 11. You can even pose with a Mega Buster. The game starts out with a tutorial level where Dr. Light will show you the ropes. Mega Man's arsenal is similar to what he had in Mega Man 11. You use the Mega Buster to fire lemons or charge shots. You're gonna need the charge shot to break certain obstacles, so I hope the only Mega Man game you played isn't Mega Man 2. And by pulling the trigger when the VR controller is facing downwards, you can activate the speed gear, which slows down the world around you to make dodging easier. Of course, since there is a meter tied to the speed gear, you can't just spam it willy-nilly. It sounds like Rockman VR is a pretty physically demanding game, as you'll have to physically move left and right or even crouch to avoid attacks from enemies, do different hand movements to use charge shots to break obstacles that are thrown at you, and the booth is large enough where you can move from the back to the front of the booth in order to dodge attacks. And if you touch an enemy, it's game over, so you don't want to do that. Oh, and by the way, the staff did say you can slide in this game too. So yeah, you'll get a lot of exercise out of this game. Anyway, when you finish the tutorial level, you'll have a boss battle with Blockman, who dances around firing blocks at you that you have to destroy with your charge shot. And just like in Mega Man 11, when you get Blockman's health low, he will transform into his Power Gear Giant form. 4Gamer points out that he's not too hard to defeat, since he has a long preparation time with his attacks, but he will come at you from above and both sides of the screen, so you still have to be careful. You can either continue destroying the blocks or outright dodge them, and the speed gear will surely come in handy. When you defeat Blockman, obviously you get his block dropper weapon, which they note is effective against enemies with a shield. Following the Blockman fight, you will then face off with Dr. Wily himself in his Wily Machine 11. However, 4Gamer didn't want to spoil the final boss fight, so we will have to wait and see if anyone gets any footage of this game to see what the Wily fight is like in VR. Attendees that played Rockman VR will receive a holographic sticker featuring Mega Man. Now here's a last couple of interesting tidbits about Rockman VR. The first is that the game is played on the HTC Vive Pro headset. And that's not all. There is some cutscenes and lore in this game, and all the dialogue plus the tutorial are presented with English subtitles. In other words, most of the localization is already done if they ever want to bring this game outside of Japan. Will they ever do that, or is the subtitles just there to help foreign players play this? Maybe the latter, but one can hope, right? At the very least, they could probably release this on the HTC Vive for everyone else one day. Here's hoping, but don't get your hopes up too much. Next up is some news on the Mega Man Battle Network series. A lot of stuff actually, both official and fan-made stuff. I'm sure a lot of you that played the Mega Man Battle Network series were first introduced to the Boktai series through the various collaborations the two series had together in their own games. But that's not the only crossover the Battle Network series had. Like, did you know that the Phoenix Giga Chip in Mega Man Battle Network 5 was a card from Duel Masters? Duel Masters being a card game and anime series that came out around the time of Battle Network. It didn't catch on too much over here in the States, but it's pretty popular in Japan. Over the history of the two franchises, they have crossed over a number of times. They had small character cameos in each other's movies that came out around the same time in 2005. I mentioned the Giga Chips in B and 5 already, and both Megaman.EXE himself and Base were added to the Duel Masters trading card game officially. And this year, in 2020, the crossover shenanigans begin anew in the mobile game Duel Masters Plays. As of July 28th until August 18th, players can log into the game to experience the Rockman.EXE crossover event and play an original story where Mega Man resolves a case in Duma City. You can also duel both Mega Man and Base in the Legendary Battle mode, where you can earn legend points to get various rewards and new titles. Prizes include the Brain Charger PR card and 2 card sleeves with some really nice artwork. There's also a new card pack where you can get special collaboration versions of the Mega Man and Base cards. Plus, you can get skins for both Mega Man and Base, and 3 playmats that are available to purchase, among other goodies. Now here's the catch. Duel Master Plays is not available outside of Japan. Similarly with what we have to do with Rockman.EXE DIVE right now, you're basically going to have to sort of import this mobile game via Q app or something in order to actually play it outside of its territory. Also, the game is going to be presented in Japanese, so good luck reading everything. So you can totally play it for yourself, but for those of us that doesn't want to go through the trouble, we can at least appreciate the sweet artwork they have for this collaboration event, check out the awesome teaser trailer, and dream of what other Mega Man Battle Network collaborations might happen in the future. Remember, next year, 2021, is going to be the 20th anniversary of the Battle Network series. And as we reported on in the past, Capcom is actively looking for partners to help them make Mega Man Battle Network products to celebrate the 20th anniversary. And I wouldn't be surprised if this Duel Masters collaboration is only one part of those big plans they have cooking. Battle Network is back! Also announced the same day, we got a look at the full paint job for the Rockman vs. Forte statue that is coming out from Mega House. The statue already looked stunning in its prototype form, and being made with ABS and PVC materials, using metallic and pearl paint to bring out the details, and standing at 20 centimeters tall, you can bet this statue looks even more so in its colored form. We are still awaiting details on the release date and price for this statue, but hopefully that will come soon enough. We will have more Battle Network content for you in just a moment, but next I do want to continue this merchandising train and talk about the rest of the stuff. One of the most exciting announcements being more details on Kotobukiya's Mega Man X line of model kits. Over the weekend, Rockman Unity and Kotobukiya held a joint livestream over the weekend, promising the full color version of Forte Farmer and new model kit details. Well, one of those things was shown and the other wasn't. Do you want to guess which one it was? Yeah, there was no new model kit announcements during the stream. I guess Forte Farmer is technically the new one? I don't know, man. Anyway, here's some images of Forte Farmer X from the live stream, in all of his colorful glory. As usual, it just looks absolutely spectacular. We also have a release window for Forte Farmer X. He's going to be coming out in January 2021, and pre-orders for him will open on Monday, or in other words, right now as you're seeing this video. Not much other details other than that, besides the charge shot parts that are shown in the video. If you pick up the Rising Fire version of the Forte Farmer X, you will get a plasma charge shot effect part. Speaking of Rising Fire, the vanilla Mega Man X with the Rising Fire variant is now available for pre-order on sites like Amazon and Big Bad Toy Store. Besides the new paint job, he'll also come with fire versions of the charge shot, different effect parts with fire, and a new effect part for Zero to recreate his Ryuin Jin technique. They really want you to buy all of these. Rising Fire X will rise up November of this year. Now what about those Zero model kits? We got new details on them too, so let's zero in on them. First of all, take a look at this awesome box art by Mega Man X series artist Keisuke Mizuno. That man is always at the top of his game. Of course, there is a variant for Nightmare Zero as well. I know someone's gonna like that one. That's about it for Zero, but remember, the model kits have been delayed to September and October respectively. The delay was due to the whole global pandemic going on and the supply issues that come with that sort of situation, so you guys get the picture. But that does mean the end of this year is going to be quite packed between Zero, Rising Fire X, Sentiol's Realbot Falcon Armor X figure, and then right at the beginning of next year, Fourth Armor X comes out. Ooh boy, get your wallets ready. As for when we will hear more news on Kotobukiya model kits, Rockman Unity is planning to have yet another X model kit Talk Live version 2.0 this November. Maybe during this one they'll actually show us some new model kits, eh? By that time, Zero will be out, Rising Fire will be coming out that month, and Fourth Armor will be almost out as well, so I think it would make more sense for them to announce something new there. Fingers crossed it's not just another X and Zero variant, but at the end of the day, they do make the most money, they're the most well-known and popular characters, so it makes sense. But man, you guys said that you wanted to make more than just X and Zero, so where is it? But hey, if you are going to make more X, I really want a good model of him. What model kits do you guys want the most out of the Kotobukiya line? Let us know in the comments. Now let's skip ahead 100 years into the future to take a look at the Mega Man Zero model kit coming from Dimension Studios. Now this figure is actually fairly cheap for a model kit, about 42 bucks, and it did ship back on June 30th. But the first orders are sold out. In the meantime, we can take a look at the assembled kit via 2 Chinese YouTubers' videos. We'll have links to their videos in the description below. Overall, I can see how they cut costs here and there with this model kit, but it still looks nice for the price. Even more impressive to me is the box art for this figure. But yeah, the Dimension Studios Mega Man Zero figure is out in the wild now, so keep a lookout if you're interested in it. Next, we have the official unveiling of the Monika Mega Man statues that we reported on last year. Back then, we got teases of Airman and Metal Man, and now we can see the complete statues of the 2 Robot Masters, and they've also added Crash Man. Not bad, right? But hold on to your wallets because they are going to run you about $135 US each. But you can at least get a 15% discount if you pre-order by the end of August. Here's the catch though. Like we touched on before, these statues are only intended for the Asian audience, which means you would have to go through some hoops in order to get this outside of those territories. Luckily, Rockman Corner contacted Monika Toys to find out how people can get these statues in North America and Europe. And they said what you can do is email them through the email address sales@monikatoys.com. Then they will direct you to their Hong Kong reseller to assist you with the purchase. That does it for our merchandising news, so let's get back into video games with some updates from Teppen. Tomorrow, there's going to be a new skin for Mega Man X based on his double Cyclone weapon from X4. You'll also be able to get the Chill Penguin secret card for free through the login bonus. Not bad. Finally, that will do it for our official news in this video. But we still got a lot more content for you guys because now I wish to welcome you to the fan game section of this video. Let's get back on that Mega Man Battle Network hype train with Mega Man Battle Network Chrono X, the fan game that sets out to make a hypothetical 7th entry to the Battle Network series. There is a version 5.1 update coming to the demo at some point, and we got a big teaser on what to expect from the update during the Team BN Summer Showcase. Now the basic idea behind this update is buffing the player, making both graphical and quality of life updates to create sort of a perfect version of this game that the developers can use going forward to making the rest of it. In addition, they are also rewriting the online netcode for the game to make it more fair for players. When this update does drop, you do want to download it, not only for those reasons, but with this update you'll also be able to transfer your save file to other machines. This is how you're going to be able to carry over your save file to future versions of CX, and presumably the full version of the game whenever it does drop one day. Updating your save data is simple. You just download the new update, boot up your old save file, save again, and you're set. Your save file is being upgraded to the new paradigm. Anyways, I mentioned that they made quite a few changes, so let's go over exactly what they did here. First of all, most of the battle chips and Mega Man himself has received a buff. And these buffs don't necessarily mean just numbers. Some buffs are also coming in the form of mechanic changes and other interactivity with other battle chips, abilities, and other things to allow for more combo potential. One such combo potential that's been added to the game is the freezing from Battle Network 6. Ice panels have essentially been changed from the BN1 through 4 version to the BN6 version. Rather than electric attacks doing 2 times the damage on ice panels, now when you attack a foe with an aqua type attack on ice, they will be frozen. Follow that up with a breaking type attack and you do twice the damage. Now, because the player is going to become more powerful with this update, obviously that means they're going to be buffing the enemies and bosses later on in the game as well, just so they can compete with your newfound power. With that explanation out of the way then, let's take a look at the specific changes they made that they showed off during the stream. The most obvious one is that every main internet area in the game has gotten a beautiful visual facelift. AC/DC area is now a nice little starting area that visually looks very nice, while taking references from its own town. Central area has a theme of advertising the side beasts, which in lore, they advertise the side beasts in order to make money to rebuild their economy after the expo got destroyed during the end of Battle Network 6. Also, they have banners around the area that show which viruses are in that area. That's a nice touch. They won't be making too many changes to the story, they won't be adding any more story to the demo either, but you could definitely expect more world building things like this. Meanwhile, Scilab has more of a technical-logical feel to it, looking really sharp. As for game mechanic stuff, Mega Man's Buster Charge is a lot faster now, even at level 1. And I know that's definitely something I commented on when I played through the 5th demo, that the Buster was pretty slow. So I really do like that change. We got a new Navi chip in the form of Gutsman G, which you get from defeating Gutsman himself. He works just like he does in previous Battle Network games. The Dash Battle chip now gives you invincibility when it's in use, so you can no longer be interrupted during the attack. Now here's where enemies got buffed. One of the more notable changes that was shown during the stream is the fact that Heal Navi and Punk Navi fights have been upgraded. In specific terms, some of them summon viruses pretty fast now, and they summon different types of viruses too depending on the encounter. Very interesting. Oh, and if you want to fight Cactus Man again with Mr. Famous after the first time, you can refight him now in this update. Then we got probably my favorite change for last. The Amp Comp dungeon got completely retooled. Those circuit puzzles that gave a lot of players trouble now feature numbers, so now you can just memorize the numbers that appear on screen rather than the visual information itself. I think that's a bit easier to understand overall. They've also made the second comp much shorter by removing some of the needed backtracking and puzzle solving. Basically, it's better paced now and it's not as annoying as it used to be, which is great in my book. Now, they did say that they won't be adding more story content to these updates for the demo. They mentioned adding more chips for you to collect in the update possibly, but for the most part they want to hold back so they don't spoil too much of the story whenever the full game comes out. So story content is stopping right here for now. That said, they did give us a couple teaser images of what comes next. The first one features a new town in the game. You can see a toy, baseball, and football on the roof, and a billboard advertising Rangers. The second image shows off the boss fight with Dark Mega. What's most interesting, however, is the bar that's underneath the custom bar. That is definitely new, and seems to tease a new mechanic that has yet to be announced. What do you think it could be for? Chrono.EXE is looking more impressive every update it gets, and I can't wait to see what's next for it. Now it's time for us to go back to the future, because now we're going to cover Mega Man Star Force DX, which is a mod for the original Star Force 1 by Prof 9. This mod also got a showcase during the Team BN Summer Showcase, which revealed a ton of new info of what you can expect. So now I'm going to go down the list of all the different changes that are going to be happening that was revealed on both the Rockman.EXE Zone's forum post and in the Team BN Showcase video. In PvP, opponents can once again counter Cut-In with their own dimming cards for bigger chains than 2 cards, just like how it worked in later Battle Network games and Star Force 2 and 3. EM mugshot animations has been touched up so mouth movements no longer interrupt the animations, making them look less stuttery. Take a look at the mugshot of Omegasys with his EM energy hair thing in the back while watching this comparison. Yeah, that's definitely smoother. So one thing that Star Force 1 did is rely heavily on the touchscreen gimmick with the DS, sometimes in very intrusive manners. Thankfully Prof 9 agrees, and he's done a lot of changes to basically eliminate the need for the touchscreen in this game. That way you can hook up your controller and just play it that way. One of the big changes is how you enter different transers and portals. We have a new mechanic called the Pulse Beam, where if you hold down the Y button, a beam will appear with a reticle that you can move in any direction with the D-pad. Once you lock onto a portal or a transer, let go of the button and Geo will automatically jump to it. There's other things like that too, like all the different minigames being able to be controlled with buttons, like Harpnote's minigame during her scenario being controlled with the D-pad, the way you control navies, and one example shown with the Scrap Comps and Gemini Spark scenario, where the radar will scan around Mega Man's body automatically. They also changed it to where you can pick up items even when the radar is beeping, unlike in the original. All very good quality of life changes. Another exciting thing is that you'll be able to play the Lunar Knights Star Force crossover scenario in this game. The cutscenes have been fully translated and will be accessible. Other Lunar Knights content, including brother bands with the main characters, have been teased as well. Which, by the way, you will be able to fill up all 6 of your brother band slots through the main story. You won't need to use multiplayer. Meanwhile, Sonya will have Pegasus, Luna will have Dragon, and Bud will have Leo, so you have access to all 3 Star Force forms throughout the game. Then we get to Mega Man's abilities, which has been buffed. You can keep your charge shot when you use a battle card without locking onto an enemy now. And just like in Mega Man Star Force 3, you will always have the side select ability by default. This allows you to pick cards on a horizontal row, and makes especially the early game a lot less of a slog since you don't have to worry about not picking a lot of cards per turn. But since Mega Man will always have side select, that means his Star Force forms have gotten buffed as well. Ice Pegasus is a speed/tech form and gains quick step and auto lock on, making it a very fast form that can chain combos very easily. Green Dragon form is focused on defense. It's going to keep its status guard, and in addition it gets Shield Heal, which recovers your HP by 25% of the damage that you would have taken from an attack, as well as Shield Counter. When an attack connects with your shield, you'll be able to cancel out the shield animation with either a battle chip or your buster. When you cancel with your buster, you'll be able to fire a charge shot immediately, which is great crowd control since Green Dragon's charge shot hits the whole field more or less. Lastly, Fire Leo is a form that you're going to get pretty late in the game, but it is focused on raw power. Its new abilities doubles your buster attack power, also giving you Break Buster and Break Charge abilities so you can break shields now, which should make Fire Leo useful for the final boss and in PvP. Now I know I mentioned that your story brothers will have different satellites, but that doesn't necessarily mean you'll get those Star Force forms right off the bat. You see, you're gonna have to earn those forms if you want to actually use them, and that is by fighting all 3 of the satellite admins, which you can do now in Star Force DX. You start out fighting Pegasus Shadow like you normally would in the original story after doing the Star Trials, which means Ice Pegasus is the form you get by default. But later on in the story, after you get the Luna and Bud brother bands, you will be contacted by the other satellite admins via email to battle them for the honor of unlocking their own Star Force forms. You can't miss it either because these fights are mandatory to progress in the story. So this is essentially new story content. Now when you get your shiny new Star Force forms, you may remember that in the original game, you basically had to hope that you pulled this one Star Force card to actually activate the form. Now in Star Force DX, the Star Force card will still be around, but now you'll be able to transform in different ways. Just like how it worked in Star Force 2 and 3, you can activate your other Star Force powers depending on the satellite, or even just transform again for the heck of it to do a cross cancel by using your brother band cards. Now when you select a brother card, you'll be given the option to do the roulette as usual, or to transform into Ice Pegasus, Green Dragon, or Fire Leo, again depending on the satellite. So basically you'll get 6 additional chances to transform per fight. And that means you can use more than one form per fight as well. Pretty cool. Okay, let's go over some other changes. The humor buster that made your buster sound like a dog or a cat will be added in the game as well. You might remember we covered before that in Star Force DX you'll be able to have 4 of the same card in your folder, and like in Star Force 2, when you defeat G-viruses, you'll be able to obtain star cards. They basically function the same as using the wave scanner, upgrading the power of a card once per battle. And the reason why you want 4 of the same card in your folder is so if you draw all 4, you can power all of them up simultaneously. Also, it's nice to note that the star cards are separate rewards from the regular rewards you get from a battle. And you can even get them through story encounters now, because even the set encounters give you rewards now. Neat! Prof 9 also made it possible for Gio's mugshot to change mid-cutscene. Basically, now Gio won't be smiling ear to ear when Pat is telling his sad backstory, among other instances where the inappropriate Gio mugshot was used. In addition, the mini screens will reflect Gio's mood throughout the game, unlike in the original. Here's another quality of life change. You can hold start to auto skip cutscenes. Speedrunners rejoice! Also, in those cutscenes, throughout the whole story of Star Force DX, Gio will simply be referred to as Gio Stellar, regardless of what you name your character at the beginning of the game. So even if you name your character Booty Cheeks, it's still gonna be Gio Stellar in the storyline. Makes sense for consistency, but man, the shenanigans. Now there's some questions that Prof 9 answered, so I'm gonna go over some of his answers here. Voice acting probably isn't going to be happening in this patch, due to the fact that there is no current English voices for the Star Force Big Bangs available. This mod is based on the English version of the game, so he doesn't want to resort to using Japanese voices, which means there probably won't be any at all. In response to a question from our own Sapphire Stars 11, Prof 9 says that he sees no way to justify forming a brother band with Pat, at least from a story perspective. But he does reiterate that you will be able to fill all 6 of your brother slots without multiplayer. Here's a cool change. You remember how useless Cloaker was in Star Force 1? Well, Prof 9 has now fixed that up to be more like Mega Man Star Force 3's version that does include a filter for low level encounters. So here's a hilarious fun fact. Did you know that Star Force 1 had a badly implemented anti-swear filter when you're making emails to your friends or the admins or anything else? Well, that ended up affecting one of the cipher mail codes, particularly with the word glasses, when you're trying to get the Libra Scales SP card. You don't need me to tell you why that word was a problem. But how the European version got around it is by capitalizing the A in glasses, because this filter was so bad it just ignored uppercase letters. So for that cipher mail code, Prof 9 will be doing exactly that for DX. Here's a cool one. Since most people are probably going to be emulating this, it's good to know that you're not going to need the Battle Network cartridge to activate the Battle Network crossover side quest. Awesome! In other news on secret content, Prof 9 doesn't know how he's gonna do it yet, but he does want to make possible the legendary Master Shin brother band, as well as making the event Andromeda Giga card available, without cheat codes that is. This is also a good time to mention that all 15 regular Giga cards will be available in Star Force DX as well. And in order to incorporate all those extra cards, he's going to make different ways to obtain them. One idea he had was making one of the Giga cards the reward for completing all the Transit side quests. So yeah, prepare to work your tail off for those. That's about all the major details we got from Mega Man Star Force DX at this moment, but I could definitely say this has turned out to be the definitive way to play Mega Man Star Force 1. These quality of life improvements are certainly top tier. But that's not the end of our fan game content, so we're going to take a step back to the year 20XX for a couple more things. To celebrate Mega Man Maker's 3rd anniversary, man time flies, they have announced a couple new weapons for the game, including Heroes Command Selection from Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. Yeah, that's a strange one, but pretty cool. And thanks to a fan vote, we're also getting Super Arm. Super Arm has also gotten a much needed buff where you can create up to 5 blocks yourself to throw at your foes. Meanwhile, Mega Man Arena has come out with version 2.0, which adds the whole Mega Man 3 cast, including Doc, and most excitingly, a native online mode feature. Now you can fight your buddies online, and that's pretty sweet. Zero is even joining the fray in 20XX because Make a Good Mega Man level has come out with a new game called Episode 0. In this one, you can blast through 60 different levels with Zero as he embarks on a quest for energy elements and to discover what the heck he's fighting for. One last thing. From R.R. Thiel and his development team comes an impressive Mega Man Classic fan game, which, much like Mega Man Slide, offers its own unique art style. It's called Mega Man Perfect Blue. In the trailer you can see a lot of gameplay, different special weapons, and I like the touch that they actually show you how much damage you're doing. But besides blue, you see a little red in this trailer too, because following a Proto Man Whistle fake out, Roll joins the fray with a new outfit. With her broom in hand, she's basically the Zero character in this game. She can dash, she uses her broom like a saber, she can even deflect energy projectiles with her broom. Impressive. All in all, Mega Man Perfect Blue is looking, well, perfect. You can find download links and trailers for all these games in the description below. Check out the other Make a Good Mega Man level games while you're at it. To end things off, why don't you get a free game for yourself? It's 20XX, the roguelike Mega Man-esque game that you can play with a friend. We've covered it many times on the channel and I've even reviewed it. But now you can get this game for free on the Epic Games Store. It's available now until August 6th, so get on that. It's a really good game. And you can get prepared for 30XX coming. Guys, that will do it for today's Mega News Roundup. It's been a big one. I want to thank you guys so much for watching, and thank you to all the great developers out there making great Mega Man content for the community to enjoy. It's been a pleasure, and if you want to see more from us, I was just on ColeFam's channel along with Reploid Revo and Protodude to discuss the Rockman.EXE type characters we wanted to see. Part 1 covers our personal picks, and Part 2, which just went live, covers the characters that our fans wanted to see. Some of you might remember I made a channel community post about it a while ago. So if you wanted to see what I and the others picked, definitely check it out. Link in the description below as always. Thank you so much again everyone, and there's a lot more coming, so stay tuned to ShadowRockZX for more Mega Man. Until next time everyone, rock on and have a mega-tastic day.